Hi everybody, I hope you had a really nice summer. We are back with First Chapter Friday. The first book that I will be reading today is called 2 Degrees, and then at the bottom it says, A Planet in Crisis and Time is Running Out. This is by Gratz. We got this last year at the book fair, so we are going to read the first chapter. Ooh, and it looks like there's different parts of this. So here's the title page, 2 Degrees. And then it also says the books that he has also written as well. So this says The Sierra Nevada, California, Part 1. And you see here it looks like there's some trees and there's fire. Red flag warning. Dad, look! A wildfire! Akira Christensen cried. She pointed down a mountain trail where a thin gray wisp of smoke rose from the trees in the valley. Akira's father rode just ahead of her on a black Frisian horse named Elwood. Akira was riding Dodger, her chestnut, gelding quarter horse. Dodger had been the first one to sense the fire below, stopping and turning his ears toward the smoke to let Akira know there was trouble. Akira's father pulled to a stop and glanced over his shoulder. A first-generation Norwegian American, Lars Christensen, looked like a real-life Paul Bunyan, complete with blue jeans, a red plaid shirt, and a bushy brown beard. Don't worry about it, he told Akira. I'm sure it's nothing. Akira frowned. She checked the fire conditions before setting out on their ride that morning. The National Weather Service had issued a red flag warning for the Sierra Nevada range today, as they did almost every other day in the fall. A red flag warning meant warm temperatures, dry conditions, and strong winds, which all added up to the possibility of a forest fire. How could smoke in foothills not be a problem? Akira looked at the ground, where brittle leaves and pine needles were ready and waiting to burn. Shouldn't we at least let Cal Fire know? She asked. A little fire is good for a forest, her dad told her. It gets rid of all the dry stuff before too much of it builds up and burns out of control. Yeah, but it seems like there aren't any little fires anymore, Akira thought. Not since the temperature of the earth had risen nearly 2 degrees, and the hotter air and longer droughts had sucked the moisture out of everything, making California a tinderbox. Now, almost every fire was a mega fire that burned up half the state, and it was all thanks to human-caused climate change. Akira had learned about it in school last year, and it had scared her. But when she'd come home and told her father what she'd learned, her dad said the same thing then that he said now. Nature can take care of itself. He clicked his tongue for Elwood to walk on, clearly done with the subject. Akira shook her head. Her dad had seen all the same changes in the Sierra Nevada that she had in the past few years. Bigger, more frequent, more destructive wildfires. Smoke warnings that caused her to stay home and miss school. Drought conditions that made their well run dry. But she knew better than to say the words climate change around her dad. All he would do was challenge her on it, and Akira didn't have the energy for that. Her father got energy from engaging with people. It recharged him to be social. Akira was the opposite. She liked people, but being on all the time drained her. After a week of normal chaos of school and family, she needed these peaceful, restorative Saturday morning rides with Dodger. And arguing about climate change was definitely not peaceful. Akira looked over at her shoulder at the smoke and sighed. Then she gave Dodger a pat on his withers to let him know she'd gotten his message. Thanks, Dodger. Everything's okay, she told him. I hope, she added silently. I like this book. So that was first chapter. 2 Degrees. He also wrote 4 or 5 other books. I have 2 other books of his, which are about a couple of different things. So if you are interested in 2 Degrees, come to the library, or if you're interested in Gratz, feel free to come ask. And I'll see you next Friday. Thanks so much. Bye.